Amazing thing that happened. I had such trust from the Oprah show audience that Whitney did, I think it was her last show with us, and she had gone back on drugs. The first interview I did with her when we'd gone behind stage and I asked her about her attention, she was clean. But the day she came to my show then to perform in front of the audience, she was not. And she fell off of the stage.
So Oprah went to the Cannes Lions Festival, stepped on stage, and brought up something that shocked a lot of people. Nearly 15 years after Whitney Houston passed away, Oprah shared a story about Whitney's 2009 appearance on The Oprah Winfrey Show. She claimed Whitney had relapsed, arrived in a bad state, and even stumbled off the stage before performing. Oprah also described herself as the person who stepped in to protect Whitney. She said she asked everyone in the studio audience not to share photos or videos from that day because she wanted to protect Whitney during a difficult moment.
I knew that if that story got out that she'd fallen off of the stage, that she would be destroyed by that. And so even though the audience was there and the audience had cameras, I begged them not to put those pictures out because it would ruin her life, and they did not.
But many people are asking one big question. If the goal was to protect Whitney back then, why bring up such a personal story now when Whitney is no longer here to respond? That is the part that has many fans confused. Some people also pointed out the timing of the comments. Others, who say they were there that day, have pushed back against Oprah's version of events. They claim Whitney was not in the condition that Oprah suggested and disagree with the idea that her stumble happened for that reason.
Oprah had suggested that she had relapsed and the fall was due to her being high. Do you think that was the case?
No, I think the case was she didn't really know that stage. And when she walked out there, she stepped off the end onto the next level.
That disagreement has sparked even more debate online. Some fans believe Oprah's comments could hurt Whitney's legacy, while others question why this story was shared after so many years. There are even people making playful claims that Whitney somehow got the last laugh after Oprah later had her own fall on stage. Those reactions are based on personal opinions and fan speculation rather than confirmed facts. Some critics have questioned Oprah's comments and wondered why she chose to share that story so many years later. Others have even asked whether her version of events was completely accurate. Those reactions reflect opinions that have been widely discussed online rather than established facts. One thing is certain. Whitney Houston continues to be one of the most talked about music legends ever. Since her passing, countless people have shared stories about her life. Some have focused on celebrating her achievements, while others have highlighted difficult moments. That has led many fans to wonder whether every news story is meant to honor her memory or simply attract attention. Several books have also explored Whitney's life from different perspectives. In 2013, her mother, gospel legend Cissy Houston, released a memoir titled Remembering Whitney: My Story of Love, Loss, and the Night the Music Stopped. Then in 2020, Whitney's longtime friend and creative director Robin Crawford published A Song for You: My Life with Whitney Houston. B.B. Winans also shared his memories in a book called The Whitney I Knew. During an interview with Essence, he explained why he decided to tell their story. He said, "It was a way of embracing the pain. Knowing Whitney like I knew her, spending the time that I spent with her, it was just a unique relationship." He continued, "In any relationship, if you invest, you'll become very close, and you know each other's strengths and weaknesses. You become so close that you can start a line, and the other person will finish it. That was the kind of relationship we had. I will miss her just like I miss my brother Ronald. I think of her every day, but thoughts of her bring a smile to my face because of the wonderful memories that we made over the years." There was also Kim Burrell, who announced that she planned to release a memoir about Whitney Houston. According to Kim, she and Whitney had agreed not to publicly discuss certain parts of their friendship while Whitney was alive. Kim later said she believed the time had come to share some of those experiences with the public.
Still talking about your storied sisterhood with the late, great Whitney Houston. We know what you gave her and advice you gave her during her time here. What message of love and life did she give you, Kim?
Oh my God, it is countless. I'm glad you mentioned it because I am finally getting that out. I'm writing a book, Whitney and Me. We had a life.
Whitney's former bodyguard, David Roberts, also spoke about writing a book based on his years working with her. Roberts, whose experiences loosely inspired the 1992 film The Bodyguard, reflected on the close bond they developed over the years. He even recalled one evening when Whitney rested her head on his shoulder and admitted he briefly wondered what life might have been like if their relationship had been different. In an interview with the Daily Mail, David also shared the story of a note that Whitney gave him, which he says he still keeps today. He said, "It was on a Post-it note, and she pushed it under the door of my room at the Regency Hotel in Hong Kong in 1988. I still have it. It's rather faded with time, but still precious to me." Looking at all these stories, it is clear that many people connected to Whitney have shared personal memories from different points of view. Most of those books and interviews have focused on her legacy, her career, and the impact she had on the people around her. That is why Oprah's recent comments sparked such a strong reaction online. Many social media users criticized her for bringing up a deeply personal story so many years later. Some called the timing unnecessary, while others argued that sharing those claims now felt unfair to someone who is no longer here to respond. Those reactions represent the opinions of critics and fans rather than established facts. Many people are asking why this story was shared in 2026 instead of years earlier. That question has fueled a lot of discussion online. Some critics believe bringing up such a painful chapter involving a late music icon during a major festival was unnecessary. Others have questioned whether it was the right place or time for those comments. Whitney Houston's estate, led by Pat Houston, responded quickly and strongly rejected Oprah's version of events. Representatives for the estate described the claims as inaccurate and unfair. They also argued that it is wrong to connect Whitney's past struggles with addiction to every difficult moment in her life. According to the estate, what the audience witnessed that day reflected Whitney's professionalism, talent, and commitment to performing. Whitney did stumble on stage, but her longtime bodyguard, Ray Watson, has shared a different explanation for what happened. He said the area was dark, the stage layout was unfamiliar, and that those factors caused the fall.
She was coming toward the front of the stage, and it's a drop-off, and it's sort of like a dark spot there. So when she got to the edge, I think somebody told her, "What? Be careful, watch it." And then she went down. But so we got to her, but she got up. Matter of fact, she made fun about it.
He also stated that from his perspective, Whitney was not under the influence at the time. Ray Watson added that Whitney did not appear embarrassed by the incident. Instead, he said she laughed it off as a simple accident and believed almost anyone could have made the same mistake in those conditions. He also acknowledged that Oprah may have interpreted the situation differently from where she was sitting, but he maintained that based on his experience working closely with Whitney, he did not believe she was under the influence that day. When Ray Watson was asked whether Oprah should apologize to Whitney Houston's family and fans, he said that any apology should be sincere. He explained that no one should apologize simply because of public pressure. As he put it, be truthful about it. Don't switch up or apologize if you don't really mean it. Ray also questioned why the story was shared so many years later. He said it is difficult to discuss events involving Whitney now because she is no longer here to confirm or challenge what anyone says. He explained that this is one reason he rarely gives interviews or speaks publicly about her.
She waited so many years before she said it. Well, why didn't you say it then? She's dead. She's gone. My sister gone. So she can't say, no, I know that, no, I wasn't. You might think I was, but I was not. She can't say that.
Ray was not the only person to push back against Oprah's account. Whitney Houston's former hairstylist, Tiffany Dixon, also said she was present during both days of the interview process and offered a different version of what happened. Tiffany firmly rejected the claim that Whitney fell because she was high. She was not high, not one day, not on either day. According to Tiffany, the fall happened because the production team did not clearly mark the edge of the stage. She said a black tarp was used instead of more visible stage markings and explained that she was standing nearby when Whitney stumbled. Her comments added another first-hand account to the ongoing debate. As a result, the public has been left with conflicting recollections from people who say they witnessed the same event from different perspectives.
She's saying that she fell because she was high is not the truth. She fell because they did not rope off the stage. They had a black tarp, demarcation of the stage and a tarp. And I was standing right there, and I swear to you, she fell like, whoa. And I ran, everybody ran to get her.
According to Tiffany Dixon, Whitney Houston did not even ask for a glass of wine during those 2 days. Tiffany said Whitney was simply drinking tea, following her normal routine, and spending time with the people around her. She described Whitney as fun, playful, and full of energy. In Tiffany's view, the fall happened because the stage was not clearly marked, and not because Whitney was under the influence. Tiffany also claimed that Oprah instructed members of her staff not to release any footage of the fall. She further alleged that employees were warned not to share the clip and that confidentiality agreements were put in place. Because of that, Tiffany questioned why the incident was discussed publicly years later after so much effort had reportedly been made to keep it private at the time. Those claims have fueled even more debate among fans. Many believe Whitney's legacy should be remembered for her extraordinary talent and lasting impact on music, rather than repeated speculation about painful moments from her personal life. Critics of Oprah's remarks argue that revisiting an unverified account involving someone who is no longer here to respond has only created more controversy. Some commentators have also pointed to other interviews involving Oprah that received public criticism over the years. They often mention her 1998 interview with Toni Braxton, where discussions about Braxton's financial struggles were viewed by some as overly harsh and embarrassing.
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me. She says to me, I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big.
Others also reference Oprah's later support for the documentary Leaving Neverland after previously interviewing Michael Jackson in 1993. Those events continue to generate different opinions depending on who is discussing them. Monique's public disagreements with Oprah are also frequently brought up in conversations about her interviewing style and media influence. Because of those past controversies, some people say they were not surprised by the latest debate surrounding Whitney. Others disagree and believe Oprah was simply sharing her own recollection of events. The discussion ultimately comes down to conflicting accounts, personal perspectives, and ongoing public debate about how stories involving well-known public figures should be told. What makes this situation even more complicated is that there are now multiple people giving completely different versions of the same event. On one side, Oprah shared her personal recollection. On the other, people who worked closely with Whitney, including her former bodyguard and former hairstylist, have publicly disputed that account. That has left fans wondering which version they should believe. The debate quickly spread across social media, where thousands of people began sharing their opinions. Some argued that deeply personal stories about someone who has passed away should be handled with extra care. Others believe that every witness has the right to share their own memories, even if those memories are later challenged by others. The disagreement has only made the conversation even bigger. For many Whitney Houston fans, however, the focus remains on her incredible career. They point to her unmatched voice, her unforgettable performances, and the influence she continues to have on artists around the world. They believe those accomplishments deserve far more attention than another controversy about events from years ago. Even now, the discussion shows no signs of slowing down. As more people weigh in, the story continues to spark questions about memory, responsibility, and how public figures choose to talk about those who are no longer here to tell their own side. Whether more people connected to Whitney decide to speak out remains to be seen. No matter where you stand on this story, one thing is clear. Whitney Houston's impact on music and entertainment is impossible to deny. Decades after reaching the top of the industry, people are still talking about her talent, her unforgettable performances, and the moments that shaped her life. That is why every new claim about her continues to attract so much attention and spark so much debate. At the same time, stories from the past can be remembered very differently by the people who experienced them. That is why it is important to consider multiple perspectives and recognize that not every account will match. The conversation surrounding Oprah's comments has shown just how divided public opinion can be. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about everything that has come out? Do you believe Oprah should have shared that story after all these years? Or do you think the criticism has gone too far? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow and lets us keep bringing you more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.